Hey MCC, so if you are like me, you're anxious and you're excited to begin meeting together again as a church family on Sunday mornings. I remember back when we had to cancel our very first service, I was thinking, we may just be online for a few weeks and then we'll be returning back to normal after that. But now, after 10 weeks of online services, I'm beginning to realize, as you are as well, this is all going to have much longer lasting implications than maybe we first thought back in March when this first started. So as you likely know, Cumberland and York counties, where the bulk of our church family resides, is moving into yellow phase tomorrow, Friday, May 22nd. And so in this yellow phase, social distancing measures are to remain. However, the stay-at-home order is lifted, and groups of up to 25 people can begin to meet together using the guidelines that's been laid out. So what does this mean for us at MCC in the yellow phase? Well, first of all, it means a continuation of our online services, that we're going to continue to provide recorded worship, prayer, teaching, etc. through our YouTube and our Facebook platforms. We will also continue to provide the Bible study lessons and resources and activities for our children so they can continue to be discipled and grow in their faith during this time as well. We're also going to continue to produce weekly devotional videos on Tuesdays from people from our church for you as well to continue to grow in your faith. And then our men's, women's prayer Zooms will continue during this time as well. We are also going to invite people now during the yellow phase that folks can start to meet together for what we'll call watch parties on Sunday mornings, starting as soon as potentially even next Sunday, May 31st. So those currently in small groups will be contacted by your small group leader and determine what is best for your group. And with these parties, we're going to look at like 2 to 4 kind of family or house units, if you will, to meet together. So for those of you who are not in a small group, you're invited to obviously meet with people from our church family during this time as well. And so you can just contact people you know. You can use our church directory, or we've provided a simple Google form in the newsletter that you can fill out, and then we'll help make connections if that's something that will be helpful for you as well. I also want to make this note very clear that we all have very different comfort levels as we begin to meet together, or as we move into this yellow phase as a society. And there's a host of various reasons why those comfort levels are different. So I pray that we will continue as a church, that we will continue to approach one another in this yellow phase with the same respect, compassion, understanding that I have seen in our church body and family since this pandemic has all started back in March. So if you are comfortable meeting together and beginning to do that in this yellow phase, we bless you in that. And I pray that would be a very meaningful time of connection and spiritual growth and community and all those things. However, if you are not comfortable meeting during this time, for whatever reason that may be, whether that's health issues, whether you're just not simply comfortable, that is fine as well. And we bless you in that, and we fully support your decision to stay at home as well. So both responses in this yellow phase are good and are right, and we bless and support one another in that. The last thing I want us to do as a church family is to allow this virus and then our response to it and our limited understanding that we all really have divide us in any way. I'm so grateful for the spirit of unity that we have among us within our church family, and I pray and expect that will continue in this next season as well. So during this time, we want to be committed to our growth in our relationship with Jesus Christ, just like we always are, that we value the importance of engaging in the corporate online resources we have, as well as committing to grow each individually in our own relationship and discipleship with Jesus Christ. That is a responsibility and an expectation for all of us. We also want to continue to connect together as a church family relationally, and this may happen through those watch parties, or it may also happen through online things that we continue to do, like our Zoom meetings for men and women, prayer, and on and on. We also want to make sure that we do not neglect the mission of serving others during this time. That I believe this is actually a really unique time for us to serve and to look and to see what our neighbors need and step into those needs around us as well. And finally, you may know that in July, it kind of built into our really yearly rhythm as a church that we take a few Sundays every year and do service projects around the community. And so as our counties are moving into yellow, this may again be an option for us that we're going to look into this summer. And when you think about what better year, what better time for us to engage and to serve and to support our neighbors around us and do that intentionally and to build time into our Sunday schedule to do that. I think it's just really incredible that that's already been a part of our rhythm as a church. So if you have a neighbor who is elderly or perhaps a neighbor who is been an essential worker and has had to work extra hours this time, or someone else in need around you and they need yard work or things that have gotten behind, that we would love to as a church then come and support them if they're comfortable and if the regulations allow us to as we continue forward. So if you know of somebody, please contact Amber so we can begin to look and set those opportunities up for us potentially this July. Now, just finally, I want to say we will continue to monitor all of these things and heed the advice of our government and our health officials. I'm also in conversations with churches in the area who are working together to process what this means for each of us within our local church communities as far as what is best to reopen and what that looks like and when that will happen. I'm also in contact with the school district about when their buildings open up. Earlier this week, I actually spoke with them. And of course, the school buildings do remain closed during this time, and there's no decisions or timelines have been set as far as when the buildings will reopen, which is completely understandable as well. And so I want to make this point too for us, that we need to be aware that because we rent, especially from a school district, and we do not own our building, reopening for us as far as Sunday morning gatherings may look different from what other churches around us are doing, and we may need to be a little more patient. But in the meantime, as we've been looking at the book of Ezra on our Sunday morning gatherings, I pray that you would be able to look and open your eyes to see what new thing God may be doing in you, in our community, in our church family during this time and all around us, that we can and we should continue to live out the values that we have as a church of community, authenticity, care for our neighbors. Those things are not confined to a Sunday morning gathering in a building. Those things can continue to be lived out with creativity and passion and excitement, no matter whether we're meeting on Sunday mornings or we're spread around in our own homes or in small watch parties. These are values that we can continue to live out and we ought to live out. And so I just pray that we look for the opportunity and see what new thing God may be doing in and through us, allow Him to refine us, allow us, and then follow in obedience with what He's calling us to do. Church, that mission does not stop, and we can continue to live that out. So I just pray that you would see the opportunity in this time, that we would come together, support one another, love each other, and serve those around us. Church, I love you all, and I look forward to again being together when that day comes. But in the meantime, let's commit to seeing what new thing God may be doing. God bless you all.